Just namaste all of you.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Bharti Yogavidya organizing this seminar for understanding of the yoga in context of the naturopathy. Okay, there are so many yogasana and topics related. Person are giving the lectures and all the things. In this session, our purpose is to widen the horizon of understanding of yoga, not as a limited version, but the different aspect of the yoga in the naturopathic version, nature cure version. How nature is helping us for the disease, therapy, and other purpose. This is the purpose of this topic. So today faculty, renowned faculty, is Dr. Poojitha. She is working as a therapist in US. She already connected with this webinar from US. She is a yoga therapist, as well as she has a degree and a diploma and other things in the naturopathy as well. She has a good experience in yoga as well as the naturopathy. Okay, Poojitha.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, hi. Kindly come on video. Yeah.
Yeah, can you see me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. Great. She has a. Yeah. Okay. Numbers of participants has connected. Most of are familiar to me personally. Okay, Poojitha, and most of already level 3, level 2 certified from the different PRCB. Some are connected from the different location of India, Maharashtra, Delhi, okay, Bangalore, Chennai, okay, Chennai and Tamil Nadu region, so that, and from the Bihar also. Priyanka Jha is connected from Bihar and different location also. Yeah, just I would like to just Poojitha has a very acclaimed faculty in US. She is a yoga therapy and she is teaching there. And today's topic, very excellent topic she has chosen. Our digestive system, health is our responsibility. In relation with yoga and nature cure, I just offer to the Poojitha. She will just continue the session. Poojitha, now you can continue the session, please.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, can you make me host to share the PowerPoint or how is it?
I think you can do so.
I can do?
Yeah, you can do.
Just on చేస్తే నా మొహం కనిపించింది. Okay.
Basically, Poojitha is from the South India, okay, but she is as a therapist. She is working in US.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to share my.
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can see it. All the participants can able to see the
Yes,
screen?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
First slide is thank you.
Yeah. Just yeah. Yeah. First slide is thank you for joining.
And smiling as well.
Yes. And start from the home also, just a normal ritual. Just she is going to ready for PPT. Just We will recite 3 Om chanting all together. That will be better. Just erect your spine. Close your eyes. 3 times Om chanting all together. Take a long breathing. 3 times Om chanting. Breathe in. Breathe in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you. Poojitha, now you can start.
So are you able to see me as well, sir?
Yes, I can see you. Kindly start the session, please.
Yes.
Sir, Poojitha is not visible, but her slides are visible.
Okay, chalega, no problem, sir.
Yeah.
Poojitha, one small request. Person
Yes,
are
sir.
connecting from the Hindi belt also. Okay.
Okay.
Kindly don't speak only in English. If you are comfortable, slight bit, you just convert in Hindi also, please.
Okay. Yeah.
I can understand it is difficult for you, but you can try, please.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm myself, Dr. Poojitha Pochineni, so working as a yoga and naturopathy therapist here. So my topic today is our digestive health is our responsibility. So most of us are aware of our digestive system because without that we will not be able to survive. So here I'm going to explain. So why is it important? Basically, understanding the digestive system.
There is just a moment, ma'am, Dr. Poojitha. There is some sound problem, and I am requesting everybody to please mute themselves, and so that her voice could be more clear.
Okay, no, I can mute all the participants. Okay. Yeah, continue, please.
Yes. So before we move on to our topic, let us understand what is digestive system. So what are the functions of the digestive system? Because see, according to the naturopathy, if we see, so the root cause of the disease lies in the intake of the food. So let us understand before moving on to the nature cure principles or yogic therapy. So let us understand the physiology of the digestive system. So because when we know how our digestive system functions, then we'll be able to connect it. When disease occurs, what is going to happen and all. So let us try to understand the basics of the digestive system. So if you look at the picture here, you can see the entire digestive tract, like mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. So these all parts are, we will be using that in our day-to-day life. So let us understand the functions of each part and how is it related to the health. Okay, so first, functions of digestive system. So beginning with ingestion. So ingestion of food. So ingestion of food, like whatever we eat or drink, comes in under the ingestion of food. And then digestion. So once we eat that, so it needs to get digested. And then after digestion, absorption. So the nutrients need to get absorbed. So after absorption, it is defecation or elimination. So once the nutrients are absorbed, so the waste material has to be excreted out. So each organ in the digestive system plays a major role in this. So the first one, ingestion. So ingestion of food, it happens in mouth and then in the until the esophagus. And then the digestion happens in the stomach and small intestine, like absorption in the small intestine, defecation, large intestine, like that. Each organ in the body is performing specific functions related to the digestive system. So let us move on to the first slide, that is ingestion of food. So ingestion of food, so it happens from the mouth and the pharynx and the esophagus. So if you can see here, ingestion happens here. So what is this ingestion? First, when you take the food, you need to chew it. The larger particles has to be broken down into smaller particles, and then only you will be able to ingest the food, isn't it? So this is the basic thing. So we all are aware of the ingestion of food. So in the mouth, what happens is the tasting of food. So first our tongue tastes the food and then mastication. So chew the food with the help of teeth. And then when you chew the food, what happens is the salivary glands secrete saliva, so which moistens the food, and then it will be easy to pass through the pharynx and then esophagus till the stomach. So what happens basically in the mouth? So you might have heard the basic sentence like chew properly. So if you know, before you eat, chew properly. So what is the reason behind that? So I wanted to tell, so I'm taking the first topic. So most of us, like while talking with others or while watching TV, we do not chew the food properly, or while we are in hurry, we do not chew the food properly. So what is the importance of chewing the food properly? That is, when you chew the food properly, the food gets mixed up with saliva. Saliva means even now when I'm speaking, my saliva is being produced in the mouth. So it becomes moist. So that, the food gets broken down into from the larger particles to the smaller particles. So what is there in saliva? So why is it necessary to be produced? Means, so when you chew the food, saliva is produced. Saliva contains the enzymes like salivary amylase and also called as ptyalin enzyme. So that ptyalin enzyme acts on cooked starch. So starch, that means carbohydrate. So when we eat, right? So we eat three kinds of foods: carbohydrates, fats, proteins. So in the mouth, even though it is mainly for the ingestion of food, minute part of digestion can happen in the mouth itself. So what is that minute part of digestion? That is carbohydrates. The cooked starch, the starchy part can get digested in the mouth itself with the help of saliva, with the help of enzymes in it. So that is the reason we need to chew the food properly before swallowing. So after that, when it gets mixed up with saliva, when you swallow the food, so it goes to the pharynx, and then, so you can see in the picture, the long tube-like structure, esophagus, and then it reaches the stomach. So what happens? So the minute part of digestion happened in the mouth itself, so that the burden in the stomach will be slightly reduced. You need not overload the stomach only all the time for digestion. When you chew properly, even the digestion can happen in the mouth itself with the help of saliva. Yeah, hope everybody is clear. Okay, so when this food reaches the stomach, it is no more called the food. It is called bolus when it reaches the stomach. So that's why खाना खाने के टाइम में अच्छा से chew करना चाहिए. Chew करेंगे तो हमारा food अच्छा से digest हो जाएगा. I mean digestion mouth से ही शुरू होगा.
Poojitha, sorry, actually your video is not coming.
Is it? Just a minute.
Yeah, I don't know the reason. Please.
Yeah, just a minute, sir. I'm checking it.
Yeah, please
No, video
check.
కనిపించదు. Is it visible now, sir?
Slides are visible. Your voice is also clearly audible, but your picture is not visible. So if it is not possible, then I don't think there is any problem. You can continue. Subject to Sir Alok sir.
Yes, just let me check the other phone. Yeah, video is not visible, Poojitha.
Oh, is it? It is showing video on only here. Camera on only. It is showing here.
Okay. One thing you can do here, if you like, you can just hang up and again rejoin.
Okay. Hemant, ఆ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఎత్తుకురా. Just a minute, sir. I'll try to log in from other system so that.
Okay, please, no problem.
Venkat.
Poojitha, if it takes time, you can continue.
sir.
No, not issue.
Almost done, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, are you able to follow, sir, right now, until now, whatever I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
So was it, yes, sir?
Please continue. Please continue. Not the issue.
Yeah. It's almost done, sir. So he's doing it. I thought of communicating.
Yeah.
It seems that there are two devices. That's why there is echo sound.
Yeah, that's why. Now she will join again so that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a minute. Give me a moment. I will make you a host.
Okay.
You can make her co-host, I think.
Yeah, you can continue, Poojitha. Now, share the PPT now, please.
Yes. And now also, are you able to see me, sir?
Yeah. Now you can continue. Your PPT and you are very much visible.
Okay.
Audio is very clear. Please continue, madam.
Yes, so we are here now, ingestion. So we, I already said about the salivary glands that produce saliva, so that the slight amount of carbohydrate digestion can finish in the mouth itself, and then the food reaches the stomach. So here, from the mouth and the pharynx, there is esophagus, which is a long tube which transfers the food from the mouth till the stomach. So even though stomach is the major organ of digestion, if you chew properly and eat, some part of digestion, I mean carbohydrate like starch digestion can finish in the mouth itself. Now, once the food reaches the stomach, what is going to happen? So we have chewed properly, so we understood the importance of that, and then the food reached the stomach. Stomach is the main organ of digestion. And if you see here in the stomach, so it is marked like a stomach. So here, there is an inner layer of the stomach, which is called mucosal layer. So it is a sensitive layer of the stomach. So the food has reached here inside the stomach. So here what will happen is some peristaltic movements will happen, like wave-like muscular contractions to reach the stomach. So once the food reaches there, the stomach produces the gastric juice. So in the gastric juice, which is acidic in nature, it consists again pepsin, renin, lipase. So all these enzymes. So because of these enzymes, the food gets mixed with that. That bolus, when it reaches the stomach, it is called chyme. Okay, so that chyme is acidic in nature. So here carbohydrate digestion will happen, and then fat digestion will happen. Proteins also gets digested in the stomach. Okay, so here 2 to 4 hours in the stomach. So when I say the food stays in the stomach for 2 to 4 hours, so it depends upon our quality of food. So to stay how long it is. So okay, so the food stays there. So when it stays there, both mechanical digestion happens as well as chemical digestion also will happen. Mechanical digestion is like breaking the food into smaller particles. Again, it becomes more smaller, like more it converts into liquid. Chemical digestion is it gets mixed up with the enzymes there. So enzymes from the gastric juice like pepsin, renin, lipase. So with all the enzymes, it gets mixed up and the food becomes more acidic there. Okay, so that acidic nature is required for the digestion of the food. So what happens? So acidic nature is required. So the food needs to get digested. But what happens if the acidic nature keeps exceeding? Like, for example, already it is acidic. So when you keep on taking like higher amounts of acidic foods, like, drinking too much of alcohol, or else more of fat-rich food, more of painkillers, what happens is the acidic juice needs to be, the pH will be exceeded, it becomes more acidic, it can damage the inner lining of the stomach. You can see there is a mucosal layer, the inner layer of the stomach, which is called mucosal layer. So that can get damaged. Okay, so when it gets damaged, what happens is gastritis, ulcer, so all that will happen. So when there is inflammation on the inner layer of the stomach, so that is called gastritis. And then the gastritis, if it is advanced, so slowly it can lead to ulcers also in the stomach. So it depends mainly again on the quality of food, quantity of food. Okay, so we will be seeing again about it later on. So in the stomach now, because of the enzymes, the food gets digested. Now, the complete digestion did not happen here. The food needs to go to the small intestine. Small intestine also further digestion takes place. So how? So here you can see from the stomach, the food is going to the small intestine. On the way, what happened is few other organs, accessory organs are there, which are helping in the digestion. That is, number one is liver. So here you can see the liver. The liver produces bile, so which is the major enzyme in the digestion, in the metabolism. So here the bile. So the bile through this duct, it is stored in the gallbladder. Okay, so the liver secretes bile, and that bile is stored in the gallbladder. And this side pancreas is there. Pancreas. So pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice. So that also comes. And when food goes to the small intestine, intestine also secretes intestinal juice. Understood? So when the food transfers from the stomach to the small intestine, so there will be some suggestions going to the mind to produce all these juices. When the food travels from the stomach to the small intestine, on the way it gets mixed up with the bile from the gallbladder. I mean, even though liver secretes it, it is stored in the gallbladder. So when the signal comes that the food is transferring from stomach to small intestine, gallbladder releases the bile, and pancreas releases pancreatic juice. Small intestine itself secretes intestinal juice. So with all these juices, the food, now the chyme which entered into the small intestine has become more watery, So already in the stomach, with the help of gas, already here with the help of saliva, it is moist. And in the stomach, gastric juice, it has become more liquid in it has become liquid in nature. Now when it enters into the small intestine, it has become more of liquid kind, and all this bile, pancreatic juice, intestinal juice, so it has got some enzymes like lipase and all, so which can help in the further digestion of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So now in the small intestine, the further digestion also is finished. Okay, so now
my lord, sorry, ma'am, I have a small query here.
Yes,
Regarding pancreatic juice, is this called this what we call for this sugar that
yes,
insulin.
Diabetes.
Insulin, huh?
Yeah, insulin. So the pancreas has got a specific role. Pancreas is an important organ in digestion. That is one role, that is exocrine function. Whereas endocrine function means which secretes hormones. Okay, so there are two functions of pancreas. So the first function is exocrine function. That means it secretes pancreatic juice, which helps in digestion.
Okay.
Second function is endocrine function. It secretes hormone called insulin, which helps in controlling the blood sugar levels. Okay, there are two different functions. That's why the pancreas has it has got the both functions. Okay.
Yeah. What about liver? Functions of liver in digestion system?
Yeah, functions of liver. See, liver mainly liver helps in the production of bile. So that bile has got major enzymes, so which helps in the metabolism of the food. Yeah, there is one more function. It produces bile. It helps in digestion. That is okay. Okay, that is one function we are speaking about. I will come to the next function later on. Maybe after absorption, I will just come back because it helps in storage function also is there. I'll just come across again the liver function. It is not over yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now hope everybody is clear, because when we understand the mechanism happening inside the body, so we are more stronger enough to advise or to follow. So why we should eat this, why we should not eat that, why we should not eat at the correct time. I mean, why we should eat at the correct time, all those things. So here the food stays in the stomach for 2 to 4 hours. So when it gets mixed with the gastric juice, that is the normal food we take. So just a question here: what happens if we eat the food rich in fat, like meat or like oily items, which has got high fat content? Then the 2 to 4 hours in the stomach is not the correct answer. That will differ. So basically, it depends upon the type of food we are eating. That also depends upon the time that is staying in the stomach. So when we eat high fat content food, then in the stomach further digestion is required. Then that fat content has to stay longer in the stomach. Further digestion. It needs to. It keeps happening. It can exceed more than 4 hours also. That's why you feel full after having after having, like, even if you have food in the afternoon, in the evening also you keep feeling full. So that is because still the stomach keeps secreting gastric juice to digest the food we have eaten. So what happens when more amount of gastric juice is secreted? It is nothing but HCl, acids. When the stomach produces acid more than it is required to, then when it happens it frequently for sufficient period of time, it can result in gastritis, it can result in ulcer, so all that. Okay, so anyway, we'll come across that topic once again. So that's why.
Ma'am, what about the jatragni, which we called in Hindi, jatragni, which help in digestion of the food?
What is the jatragni?
Acid, which create acid in the.
Sir, we can take at last. We will take this question, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
So certain amount of acid is required for the digestion of any kind of food we eat. Okay. So when we eat heavier food, more acid production is required, which can result in gastritis and ulcer and all. So now the food reached the small intestine. isn't it? The food reached the small intestine. In the small intestine also further digestion happened with the help of bile, intestinal juice, pancreatic juice. The food is more of liquid in nature now. Okay, so further digestion happens in the small intestine also. Now the digestion is over. See in the small intestine, like you can see here the light sky blue, the stomach is continued like this, duodenum, jejunum, ileum, so all this is small intestine part. The food reached here with the help of enzymes, further digestion also finished. So after digestion is over, what does it need to get absorbed? We need to get absorbed. So inside the small intestine, in the layer, there will be like hair-like structures called as villi. So the nutrients after you eat, see you make a carrot juice, you put in the mixer. It is more a kind of juicy in nature, like some solid is there. So when you squeeze, you get the juice. Then you drink it, isn't it? In the same way, here the digestion is over in the small intestine. Then it's time for the nutrients to get absorbed. So around the small intestine, there are blood vessels going through. So once the digestion is over, through villi with the help of hair-like structures. So it will have like hair-like structures like this. Through this, the nutrients are absorbed into the blood. So the blood absorbed the nutrients, and through the blood, the nutrients are transferred to all parts of the body. Note it, from the small intestine, through the villi, the blood gets the nutrients. So from the blood, through the blood vessels, the nutrients are carried to the different parts of the body, for converting it into energy. Okay, so here let us understand one more thing. So we are tired. So very much hungry, feeling fatigue and all that. You go and eat some food or rice or chapati. Do you immediately feel energetic? No. So we are tired, we eat food. Whether immediately we feel energetic? No.
No.
Because this is the reason. Even the patients whose blood pressure is reduced, they're feeling fatigue and giddy and all. In case of diabetes, their blood sugar levels went very down. So you give some food to them? No, because by the time that food gets digested, then the nutrients get absorbed. It almost takes 2 to 6 hours of time to happen all this. But when we take something in the form of liquid, like juice form, so the juices does not require much digestion. So when you drink, so immediately it can get absorbed into within a few minutes, like 10 minutes to half an hour. So immediately it will get absorbed into the blood. So that is the reason, when you feel low, the juices will work better rather than eating the food. Immediately you feel energy when you take the contents in the juice form rather than in the food form, as the food requires digestion and it takes time to get the energy. So now from the small intestine, the nutrients are absorbed into the blood. Okay. So from the blood, you are transferring the energy, like in the form of glucose, you will be absorbing the energy. That glucose is transferred to different parts of the body, to convert it into energy. That glucose from the blood has to be converted into energy. Okay, what if you are not working? What if your job is just sitting on the chair and, sitting on the chair and doing some work in the laptop, so you don't have any physical work? What happens? Whatever the glucose is absorbed into your blood, whether it can be immediately converted into energy? No, it cannot be converted immediately into energy because we are not working. We are living such a sedentary lifestyle. So when the nutrients gets absorbed into the blood, sometimes that glucose cannot be converted into energy because of our sedentary lifestyle or lack of exercise and all. Then that glucose will be converted into glycogen and will be stored in the liver. That is the another function of the liver. So liver not only produces the like bile, which helps in digestion of food, like burning of food. It also does the storage function. When you take the excess food, excess glucose is released, but the glucose is not converted into energy. Then in that case, the glucose will be converted into glycogen and stored in the liver. Okay, and stored in the liver. So when you feel giddy again, when you feel loss of energy, in that case, then the glycogen can be converted again back to the glucose when your body requires. So that's why, say, soon after you stop eating food, we don't die, isn't it? Soon after we stop eating food, we don't, because it doesn't make much difference, because that glycogen which is stored in the liver keeps converting into glucose. First, excess glucose is stored as glycogen. When your body requires, when you don't have food, then that glycogen can be converted back into glucose and produces energy. So that's why during fasting and all, that glycogen, especially I have to tell about fasting. So in fasting, that glucogen, which is going to help you in the first 1 to 3 days, in 1 to 3 days. That's why, doing fasting for 1 to 3 days is very easy because of the glycogen, in the liver. Yes. Now, this all happens, absorption happens in the small intestine for 2 to 6 hours. Then from there, the food goes to the large intestine. So this the surrounding one is large intestine. So that in the large intestine, even though we think that the large intestine is only for excretion, but no. In small intestine, major nutrients got absorbed from the glucose and all that. In large intestine also absorption will happen. What is that? Excess water, vitamins, minerals are absorbed in the large intestine. So in this large intestine also absorption will happen. So what happened now? In the small intestine, all juices got mixed, then in that way it entered into the large intestine. In the large intestine, all the water has been absorbed. So what is left over is nothing but the hard matter, the solid matter. So what happens? So once you make the carrot juice, you take the juice out. What is left out? The hard, the waste part, which in the same way here it is stools. So after the water, excess water, vitamins, minerals are absorbed from the large intestine, the leftover one is the hard content. That is nothing but the stools. So we are seeing the fourth function now, defecation. So this one, the surrounding part is the large intestine. So that
may I ask one small question? In previous slide, as you said that juice gives immediate energy. What about banana, which I have seen in marathon, these runners used to eat banana and then take immediate energy through banana?
Yeah, I think, their metabolic rate is very high as they are, working. That's why maybe they get immediate energy. And also banana has got high of carbohydrate content, high of sugar content. So I mean to say, you can take few fruits also into the consideration. Juice means not only juice, like juice along with some fruits.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes. So now the hard matter had reached the large intestine. In large intestine, after the absorption of excess water, the contents become solid. I said it. That is called fecal matter or the stools, which stays in the large intestine for 36 hours. I mean, minimum is 36 hours. That means 1 to 1.5 days, it can stay in the large intestine. Yeah, if it stays like that, then good. No, we are good. In total, it can take 2 to 5 days also to move through entire gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so it can stay for 36 hours. That's good. But in some cases, it can stay. I mean, the fecal matter can stay in the large intestine until 5 days also. So what happens if it stay very longer in the large intestine? What happens is the large intestine keep absorbing the excess water, keep absorbing the water, keep absorbing the water, then the stools will become more harder, more solid in nature. Then it is difficult for the stools to pass. It is difficult for the stools to pass, which can result in constipation. Okay, that is one thing. And next thing is, one more in another aspect, from nature cure aspect, if you see, when the stools stay longer, as I said, when the stools stay longer in large intestine tract, okay, it leads to constipation. So that is okay, that is one thing. Second thing is, after absorbing the excess water, what happens? Even there are chances that the waste material also can get reabsorbed into the blood. That is nothing but accumulation of toxins in the body is the root cause of the disease in the aspect of nature cure. So what happens? So when it stays longer in the large intestine, that waste products, as I said, as the water gets reabsorbed into the blood, in the same way, even the morbid matter also can be absorbed back into the blood, which makes the blood toxic, which is nothing but toxins accumulation, and it is the root cause of all the diseases. Okay, so now it stays there for 36 hours in the normal condition. Then when food enters the stomach, it sets up the reflex, which results in the movement of large intestine contents. That is called gastrocolic reflex. When the food reaches the stomach itself, a signal is sent, a reflex is set up, that the movement in the, when we take the food, the previous stools has to be taken out. So that is nothing but gastrocolic reflex. So the process of this defecation is conditioned, happening about at the same time every day. That because of the gastrocolic reflex, that signal, that is conditioned, that is happening about same time every day, as usual, which I say, like for many of us, it will be morning times. So people are capable of suppressing the urge to defecate till they find a suitable place. So you are able to suppress that urge to defecate because until you find a suitable place, like finding a washroom maybe, so you can control. But if you keep controlling, if a person repeatedly suppresses the urge to defecate, he may develop constipation. There is one more reason for constipation. So that gastrocolic reflex has to be, you should follow that. You should follow that, in releasing the stools from the body. If you don't follow that, and if you keep suppressing the urge to defecate, then you may develop constipation. That is one common reason, constipation, personally, I feel that constipation is the root cause, we can tell, because in nature cure, we say accumulation of toxins in the body is the root cause of all diseases. So why accumulation? So accumulation of toxins means it can happen anywhere in the body. Toxins in the large intestine, like maybe in the lungs, you can tell, the kidneys, the skin, all that is there. But among that, one organ is the large intestine. So that also need to be kept clean. The constipation can result in various other diseases. Okay, now over. Now we are entirely clear now. So digestion begins in the stomach, in the then in the, digestion starts from the mouth, mixes with saliva, and then in the stomach, gastric juice, certain amount of juice only need to be secreted. If you take heavy food, more juice need to be secreted, then it can result in, gastritis, ulcer, and all that. So now next one is, next common problem is indigestion. Liquids leave your stomach quickly. Half of the water leaves the stomach in 10 minutes. Whereas, see, as I said, the juice, from the juice you get the immediate energy, isn't it? Why? Because the liquids leave your stomach quickly. When you take anything in liquid form, when directly it goes to the stomach, and half of the water leaves the stomach within few minutes. Whereas solid foods, need to be broken down further before leaving the stomach. Now, regardless of consistency, foods and drinks that have a lower calorie content generally leave your stomach at a faster rate. For example, water leaves the stomach at a faster rate than a glass of fruit juice. And then compared to the fruit juice will go faster. Understood? Fastest is water. Second fastest is juice. So third fastest is fruit. And then you can come to the other things like cooked food and all that. So foods rich in carbohydrates and proteins are broken more easily and leave the stomach faster, whereas foods high in fat and fiber spend longer time in your stomach. That's why you feel full for longer. Okay, so here I said high in fat and fiber. So that's okay if there is food rich in fiber, because when fiber is there, our body is controlled, slowly, the release of nutrients will happen slowly, controlled way. When there is high of fat in the stomach, it stays longer, you keep feeling full, more acids need to get produced, it leads to indigestion. So the amount of food, the quality of food also matters, regarding the indigestion. Next one is gastritis, peptic ulcer. I have spoken more about the gastritis, peptic ulcer. It depends mainly on the type of food you are eating, heavy food and oily foods, then alcohol, and also some medications. Some medications also, like painkillers, also can eat away the inner layer of the stomach, resulting in gastritis, peptic ulcer. So next one is hemorrhoids, anal fissures. So these are related to the defecation process, large intestine. So in the large intestine, when the stools become more harder, the blood vessels surrounding the anus can get ruptured and resulting in the blood, passage of the blood along with the stools. So that's why staying the stools in the large intestine should not be considered in any way. Take good amount of water, take good diet, otherwise take enema, flush it out so that you can avoid all the unwanted problems like constipation, hemorrhoids, fissures, and all that. Yes, now we understood basically what are the principles of nature cure. We understood the digestive system completely. So according to the nature cure, there are 4 eliminatory things. I mean, through 4 ways, I did not mention here, there are 4 ways of elimination. One is through skin. So through skin, so when you work out or through sweat, toxins comes out. Second thing, when you breathe from the lungs is the second eliminatory organ. When you exhale through pranayamas, through carbon dioxide, the toxins come out. Third one, kidneys. Through urine, the toxins come out. And the fourth one is large intestine. Okay, so in the these are the 4 routes of toxins elimination: through skin, sweat; through lungs, through carbon dioxide; through kidneys, through urine; and large intestine through fecal matter, I mean stools. So we are discussing mainly about the stools now through large intestine, as we are discussing the digestive system. Okay, so what are the principles of nature cure? So what is the root cause of the disease? So root cause of the disease is accumulation of toxins in the body. The principles of nature cure. So the 3 things which are the basics of this thing is accumulation of morbid matter. So accumulation of morbid matter means here I am speaking today I'm speaking only regarding to the digestive health. And then abnormal composition of blood and lymph, and then lowered vitality. So these are the principles of nature cure. Next. So next point is we are what we eat. Depending on, if we come to the philosophical background related to the food, our digestive health, what it is, we are what we eat. In the 18th chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna mentioned, depending upon the basic human personality, the human nature is classified as sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva, a person in mode of goodness will eat sattvic food. This type of food makes people happy, gives strength, increases their lifespan. These foods are satisfying. Freshly cooked, balanced diet will fall into this category. So if you want to, again, keeping the digestive system, our mindset also, our personality also is totally related to the food we eat. So sattvic food helps the people happier, gives strength, increases the lifespan. These foods are satisfying. Whereas rajas, so a person in mode of rajas will prefer food which is bitter, too sour, salty, pungent, too hot and chilly. These foods excite the mind and encourage him in activities which leads to stress. They end up in an agitated mind and find themselves in an unhappy situation. So if we eat rajas food, what is rajas food means? Sour, salty, pungent, bitter, hot, and chilly. So all this comes into the rajas category. Whereas tamasic, a person in mode of darkness, prefers the food which has been cooked a long time ago. The type of food he eats is tasteless, dry, and sometimes smelling bad. This type of food makes the person sleepy, dull, lazy, makes him unable to think properly like a reasonable person. So why I am mentioning these kinds of food people prefer to eat is basically the digestive health is dependent upon the food we eat. Okay, and again, depending upon the food we eat, our mindset also will change. Okay, so again, we have to live our personality based on this, like directly or indirectly, these all are like directly proportional. So if you eat this kind of food, you will develop this nature. Otherwise, if you have this nature, you will attract to that kind of food. So it is like directly proportional. So if you can balance that, then our digestive health also will be better. So coming to the diet, science advocates balanced food. We are expected not to overload the stomach and eat few times a day in right proportion. Overall, because our digestive health depends upon the food we eat, major portion, even though stress, stress, other medications, even though they play a role in your digestive health, your way of living, your way of eating your food only plays a major role in digestive health. So a person who eats once a day is a yogi, twice a day is a bhogi, and thrice a day is a rogi. If anyone eats more than thrice a day, his days his days in earth are numbered. Yes. So again, depending upon this, our health is in our hands. Next, yoga therapy. So we understood the nature cure concept. So nature cure concept, even though I did not touch much regarding the treatment wise, we basically understood the basics, like how can accumulation of toxins can lead to problems like constipation, other fissures and all that. In the same way now, yoga therapy. So when we do yoga, it massages the internal organs and conditioning them to perform better. Certain asanas help to promote the elimination of waste products from the body by activating muscles involved in peristaltic activity. See here, what is peristaltic activity? When the food is in the stomach, in small intestine, the organs will have the peristaltic movements inside. So with the help of movements only, the food gets mixed up with the juices properly, helping in digestion. Okay, so when you do the asanas, so asanas will help in the peristaltic activity. So they stimulate the peristalsis and thereby improving the digestion and flushing out the toxins, like helping in the elimination of waste products. Also, the alternate stretching of the muscles and then contracting of the muscles helps to tone them and improves the flow of blood and oxygen. So when we exercise, so from the small intestine, nutrients get absorbed into the blood, isn't it? From the blood only, all the nutrients has to be carried to the different parts of the body. So how can the blood vessels work actively? So when you exercise, then the blood gets rushed up to all the parts of the body. Through the blood, the nutrients also will be supplied to all parts, and also through the blood and oxygen. Even the oxygen also, when you inhale, the oxygen also that has to be carried to the different parts of the body through blood. So again, that's a different topic, but still I'm just touching it. So through the blood only, oxygen can be carried. So when you inhale, the air goes into the lungs. From the lungs through the arteries, then the blood, through the blood only, oxygen goes to different parts of the body. So when you exercise, it helps in the flow of blood, so that through the blood, oxygen also goes to the different parts of the body actively. So when your brain gets good amount of oxygen through the blood, your brain works better. When your stomach gets a good amount of oxygen, digestion can be improved. So all organs will perform better when it has good amount of blood along with the oxygen. So few naturopathic treatments just I mentioned in case: cold hip bath with friction. So cold hip bath, like when you suffer from indigestion, constipation, so sitting in the cold hip bath and giving the friction, applying using the cloth, so you rub the stomach in the in clockwise direction. Then massage therapy, mud bath, and then clearing the waste matter with the help of enema. So all these treatments will help in the removal of toxins, so that our digestive health can be improved.
Ma'am, what is massage therapy? What is massage?
Yeah, it's just massage, applying the oil and rubbing the body, rubbing the abdomen, massage. Applying the oil and then specific movements, to apply pressure and then stimulating.
Just stimulating the skin organ as a organ and removing the toxin from the skin. That is you can say the massage therapy. Okay. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, let me know if you have any questions and if I miss anywhere.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for explaining this digestion system and all these things in a very detailed manner. I have never seen such kind of seminar or such kind of, because you have explained everything in health, digestion, and one thing, one question is relating to water. Actually, everybody advised that we should drink water after an hour of food. What is the logic behind this, and what kind of water, and how should we drink water, which is very essential.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yes, I did not touch the topic, I think so. Yes, water. So drinking water in the morning, in the early morning. So why do we prefer to drink the water in the early morning? Like 1 to 2 liters of water at least 1 liter in the morning, 3 to 4 glasses. Why means, see, the whole night the digestive system had worked harder, so that the morning the toxins are flushed out. See, if you see, after you finish eating on a plate, we wash it, right? Yeah. After we finish eating on a plate, we need to wash it. So in that way, so when we are done with the digestion in the morning, so when we drink water, it helps to cleanse the entire digestive tract. Okay, so all the food already, see, throughout the night the digestion had happened, almost the stools have entered into the large intestine. So I said 1 to 1.5 days it will take for the food to it stays, right? So when you drink water in the early morning, it helps to cleanse the entire digestive tract, till the stomach. So that is one thing, cleansing thing. Second thing, when you drink water in the morning, it helps to soften the fecal matter in the large intestine. You see, in the large intestine, there is fecal matter accumulated. When you drink water, again it will become soft so that it is easier to pass. I mean, through fecal matter can be easily passed out. It can be taken out. So that is one thing. That is mainly. Then second thing is, throughout the day also, we keep drinking sufficient amount of water to keep ourselves hydrated. Because if you see, when we sweat, water comes out. When you exercise or through sweat, water comes out. And see, when you are speaking, saliva keeps producing. When you keep eating, the saliva keeps producing. What is that? Saliva is nothing but some watery kind of thing. That juice is nothing but some amount of water in it. That means for the saliva to have the water, gastric juice, water, intestinal juice, and bile contains water. So all these juices which are produced for the digestion also require water. That's why your body needs to be hydrated to get the enough amount for the production of these enzymes, isn't it? So sufficient amount of water is required for the body to help in the production of the enzymes. And third thing, so why we should avoid to drink the water like half an hour before and 1 hour after the food? Because when we should not eat, we should not drink water at that time, around the lunch or dinner time. Why means our food in the stomach needs gastric juice, which is acidic in nature. When it is acidic in nature, then only the food can get digested. If you drink water while eating the food, or immediately after eating the food, or just before eating the food, what happens? The juices becomes diluted, mainly the gastric juice in the stomach, because when you drink immediately, the juice goes to the stomach. In the stomach, you are hungry. The gastric juice is secreted, it is ready. It is ready, like when you eat, it wants to digest the food. But you drink water at that time, along with the food. Then the digestive juice get diluted. The acidic nature is reduced. Then your food cannot get digested properly. It can lead to indigestion.
Can we drink hot water after immediately meal? Because after finishing meal, can we drink hot water?
At least, you have to chew properly and eat so that you don't feel hunger. Eat sattvic food which has good water content. You don't feel, you don't feel thirsty. Until 1 hour, you should not be drinking water.
Ma'am, my basic question is this: why? Because we used to take water immediately after meal during this when we take vrat. Like we take meal once in a day only, sometimes twice a day only. Then we used to drink water concurrently after food, because we don't drink water in the evening or in the night, nothing. Only once means once. Our guru, Sant also take once meal, water simultaneously, everything.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking that hot water.
Yes. Yeah, different people will have different opinions on drinking water, but scientifically telling, it is not that you drink at once and then you don't drink the whole day. The whole day you keep drinking, for every 1 hour, you need to keep drinking 1 glass of water. When I say 2 to 3 liters of water, it means the whole day. 2 to 3 liters of water, it has to be consumed in the whole day, except some half an hour or 45 minutes before and after the food. Sometimes, you feel like drinking the water. Again, it depends upon the type of food we eat. If we eat sattvic food, then we may not need the water while eating the food. When we eat rajasic food or tamasic food, definitely we will require water.
Yeah.
Definitely we require water, because that kind of food will you need water. Without that, you cannot. You cannot. When you eat sattvic food, then the body doesn't ask for water.
Very true, very true. Just it is experimental also. If you take the sattvic food, you need the less water. Okay, if you take the tamasic food, you required body requirements more water. That is a natural phenomena. Okay, and the second
hot
thing,
water, sorry,
Ajayji, body temperature also matters. Suppose if you take the food and body temperature accordingly, if you take the hot water, although according to naturopathy, that is a different concept. Poojitha can explain. But as per the body temperature, if you can take the water, can acceptable also. But it is a different opinion, not the accepted by the naturopathy. Am I right, Poojitha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Lalita ji, kindly ask if you have any question, please.
Yeah, actually, you were talking about cleaning the intestine. So I just thought I recently, Shankar Prakshalan also helps, right? So
yes, yes.
I usually do it during Holi time and Navratri time. And I had just one curiosity. You were talking about bile juice being stored in the gallbladder, right? So
Yeah.
when we do Shankar Prakshalan, will the old bile juice stored get flushed out?
But, so the bile juice, whole bile juice will be flushed out, you are asking?
No, she is asking.
Because
Yeah. ठीक है. Yeah, Lalita ji, continue.
yeah, actually, when we do the Shankar Prakshalan, I just wanted to know whether the stored bile juice also gets flushed out so that the new one is formed.
No, I don't think so. There will not be any effect on the bile juice stored in the gallbladder. If in case the bile juice is in the small intestine, then all that will be flushed out.
Yeah,
okay.
During the Shankar Prakshalan, stomach duodenum will be the content will be flushed out. Juice is as it is in the biles, madam. That is the thing.
Oh, okay. Because
not entire juice is flushed out. Little bit, which contains the stomach, that is a flushed out. Still, you can say. Okay, fresh juice comes.
Okay, from the so
yeah, during the Shankar Prakshalan.
Yeah, so to some extent, even the bile and all is produced fresh after Shankar Prakshalan.
Yes, it is. In fact, the Poojitha also explained, inner layer of stomach is also broken and flush out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that after the Shankar Prakshalan, teachers suggest a student to take the ghee or like this thing, ghee, so that the lubricants will become. A layer will be comes during after the Shankar Prakshalan Kriya.
No, my question is only about the bile. Other things
I understood. Yeah, that is not entirely flushed out. Already Poojitha has spoken, but the stale thing and stale material comes out during the Shankar Prakshalan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Jayasri ji, kindly ask your question, madam.
मैम ये कोल्ड हीट बाथ विद फ्रिक्शन.
हाँ, आप क्या पूछ रहे हैं जयश्री जी?
सर जो अभी मैम ने बोला है ना कि मसाज थेरेपी, मड बाथ, एनिमा और जो कोल्ड हीट बाथ विद फ्रिक्शन, उसको थोड़ा समझाने के लिए.
आपका क्वेश्चन मैं समझ नहीं पाया. Poojitha will explain. If you understand her question, kindly.
No, I did not understand. She was asking something about massage therapy.
No, cold heat bath with friction. ये समझाइए थोड़ा.
Your voice is cracking. Can you do one thing? Can you just आप अपना क्वेश्चन टेक्स्ट में कर सकते हैं, चैट बॉक्स में लिख दीजिए. हम otherwise we can take your question in the next session also. Don't worry. Okay. I think आपका क्वेश्चन शायद मसाज थेरेपी से है.
नहीं सर, कोल्ड हीट बाथ विद फ्रिक्शन.
अच्छा, कोल्ड हीट बाथ.
Yeah.
अच्छा, cold hip bath. Okay. Her question is cold and what is the purpose of the cold hip bath?
Okay, cold hip bath, sitting in the cold hip bath and then giving the friction on the abdomen. So you take a cloth and then, rotate the body with the cloth, rub the abdomen with the cloth so that the abdomen will be stimulated. The organs will be stimulated for performing better. That is cold hip bath with friction.
Actually, this is a vast topic. Okay, because we have the limited time. See, took the just encapsulated all the ideas of the digestive system. Although digestive system itself a big thing, big
Correct.
chapter. It is very difficult to conclude in a one session. Okay, see also add all the naturopathic concept also. It is also challenging. Many concepts she added. Okay, definitely question will be asked more. I can understand the things, curious, and I respect the curiosity of all the participants, but we have the limited time. Okay, see already Poojitha is also already engaged with the other lecture, so that I can't hold her right now. Okay, and
ma'am, just a small question: which part of the body generate acid, which helps in digestion of food? Jatragni, what we call, which create acid.
Which creates acid in the stomach only. The gastric juice is secreted by the stomach itself.
But which it is in like gallbladder? It is in like which part?
Stomach is an organ. It secretes gastric juice. Again, the liver produces bile that is stored in the gallbladder. Gallbladder just releases the bile when the food goes to the small intestine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed this session along with Poojitha. She has
very much, very informative, very knowledgeable.
एक small question मेरा है सर.
हाँ, क्या है आपका? क्या है आपका?
सर ये मैं उसमें चाह रहा था. देखिए कोल्ड हिप बात तो मुझे समझ में आएगा, मड थेरेपी समझ में आएगा, एनिमा समझ में आएगा कैसे ये डाइजेशन में काम करे, मगर ये मसाज थेरेपी कैसे काम करेगा ये मैं नहीं समझ पाया.
एक काम करें क्या? बिकॉज क्या है, वी हैव द शॉर्टेज ऑफ टाइम. कैन वी कंडक्ट नेक्स्ट जो होता है ऑन संडे अबाउट द मसाज थेरेपी, है ना? बिकॉज इट इज ए शी कैन एक्सप्लेन, शी इज ए डॉक्टर एंड she has expertise on this topic also. I don't think अगर एक लाइन में है ना आप satisfied होंगे ना सी Poojitha will be satisfied. So I think definitely we will take this topic also as a therapy, as a massage point of view, so that you can understand better. Still, okay. She like to answer the question. I can appreciate, not the issue. But I think she has sorted the time.
It was very good session, but on lighter side, I would like to say that nowadays people are eating lots of things, not from mouth, but from eyes, from ears, from nose. That is very harmful.
So, no sir. But if you see in the perspective of Poojitha, if you see through the eyes, it is also a wonderful thing in point of view the naturopathy.
Yeah. That is a very informative and very knowledgeable topics, and she explained wonderful, no doubt.
Yeah. Just I would like to add one point here, just for the information point of view, because here 2-3 Ayurvedic doctor also there. Okay, and just if you take the water during the Brahma Muhurta, that is called the Ushapana. This is, I'm just telling about the examination point of view. Okay? Because there is a chance such type question may be asked. Ushapana.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Poojitha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all the participants, for joining. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for conducting such a wonderful session, sir. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Now I'm stopping the recording. Yes.
Yeah.